Hiya and welcome to the Redmen TV. Liverpool play Marseille. Yeah, we've got that lovely trip to go to. Won't be problematic at all. Now, I'm joined by Sam and by Ian for this one as we build up to that game of football. Thanks so much for joining us. If you are joining us on the Redmen app, hello to all of you. Have you seen the Redmen app?
Oh yeah. Damn, I got it when I think it was in beta.
Yeah.
It wasn't advertised, but I downloaded it. It's been good since.
Yeah,
no problems for me.
I don't mind it. I mean, look, for anyone who wants to interact, then, probably still YouTube, but the app is where everything is. So let me know if you're actually enjoying the app or not. We are going to build up to the game, but I think context is quite important as we go into this. We are going to talk about Marseille first, but from a Liverpool perspective, it's fair to say it's an unbeaten run, but an unbeaten run that hasn't been extremely fun to watch, hasn't been, you've not been looking forward to the games of football. If anything, you've probably been dreading them. So for you, Sam, where do you stand on this game of football? Because I think this is one of the hardest games of football you can come up in the Champions League.
It's strange because, look, I'd love us to be the flying bees and all that again, the mighty ducks, and just going forward and ridiculous pace and power, and we're not there at the moment, are we? I don't know if we've got the lads to do that either, so it makes games harder to obviously win and get through and sort of and control. The weird thing about this game is that it shouldn't be what we've struggled with, as in we've struggled against teams who just have no intention of really getting involved in the game of footy with us. These have got to play because they need points for the Champions League group. It's a bit of a cut match in that respect. But then to completely flip that back, it's going to be a really difficult opening 20 minutes, tough place to go. The lads are going to have to really adjust to being there. So I think it's kind of like a good game for us, maybe stylistically, but a really difficult challenge playing away in Marseille. Yeah,
it is, Ian, and we'll get on to Marseille then. They are third in League. Did you like that pronunciation? Yeah. That was good, that, wasn't it? They've played 18 games, winning 11, drawing 2, and losing 5. But the biggest part of all of this is that they are actually the top goal scorers in Liga with 41. And yeah, it seems like they can blow teams away. I think in the previous game that they just played, they'd scored 4 inside 40 minutes. Obviously, against different opposition, not going to quite be the calibre of Liverpool. But it's fair to say that they play gung-ho football. It is exciting to watch, and you can be out of the game quite quickly with them.
Yeah, it could be, but it could also open up things for us. It could open up spaces for us. We haven't been great at the back, and we haven't been overly great up top, so it might open some opportunities for us. I think we're just lacking a bit of bite at both ends, I'd say, in defence and attack. But the game at the weekend, I thought there was the first 30 minutes before we scored a goal and during the goal, I think we looked a lot better. We didn't look great, but we looked much improved on what we've seen in previous games. So I'm kind of looking forward to it as well, because for me, other than the FA Cup, if we're still going for the trophy, this one's probably the one we're most likely to get now, because we're not getting the league. Yeah. So, all in the UCL basket, or legs in the UCL basket, isn't it?
It very much is. They've got Roberto De Zerbi as their manager, someone who we know quite well. When he was at Brighton, I thought I was actually surprised that they'd let him go. Like the way they parted ways, thought he did well for them. An exciting manager to watch in terms of football. And he's gone and implemented that over there in Marseille. And like I said, the third in the league. So we know what he's about. But he's had more time to do it there. And yeah, it's someone that you're familiar with, but Slot isn't necessarily familiar with him.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. And the way he left Brighton, like you say, I think he thought he was better than Brighton in the end. But the way he kind of, a little bit like Maresca in some senses. Obviously, he had a good season last year, trophies-wise, but a little bit like Maresca is that he spoke his way out of a job a little bit as well. Like, he left and he talked and he moaned about the Brighton's model and all that. And obviously, he's rocked up at Marseille, so I'm not sure if that's enough. But I know they're playing Champions League, but he's probably got more chance of winning a cup in maybe. I don't know. Maybe they'll win the cup this year. I know PSG won everything last year, but obviously he's going to play football against us. I'm looking at the Champions League here. That's why I'm looking at my phone here. They're 16th on 9 points. They're 3 points behind us.
Yep.
So if they've got ambitions to get into the top 8, they must do, because they can get 15 points. I'm not sure they play next week, but if they beat us, it puts them right in the mix. Yep. So I think they're going to have to really go for it. This is not going to be we'll nick a point against the top side and try and win next week. I think it's going to be they're going to come out. So it'll be interesting to see how we approach the game, because usually against teams that do play out, we do press. Yeah, it's the teams that don't play out, we don't press, which is obviously where it's been frustrating. So I think it's going to be a fascinating matchup in terms of what we do against them. And they've got Aubameyang up front, right?
They do. I mean, he was in the AFCON and then he got banished from his country or something. So yeah, I think he is back with them in the UCL so far. They've taken down Union Saint Gilloise. They've beaten Newcastle, which is quite a big one. Would
they lose and then come back in that game or something like that? I think I remember that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Aubameyang with like 2 goals in quick succession. They've also beat PSV, but at the same time they've lost to Sporting, Atalanta and Real Madrid. So they are 3 wins, 3 losses. To be fair, I mean, the Real Madrid one, anyone can get beat by Real Madrid on their day. Sporting and Atalanta may be a little bit more surprising, but, you know, you've seen the danger there, Ian. The fact that they've taken down Newcastle, who, you know, a really good side in the Premier League, who are doing fairly all right in the UCL. PSV certainly beat us, and by quite a considerable amount. USG, I'm not going to say they're easy to beat, but, you know, you expect them to beat them. But yeah, they've took some big games there that Liverpool haven't got over the line against the likes of PSV.
Sometimes as well, it's the team that's in front, and how they motivate, and there's a couple of players in there, there's a couple of ex-United players in there, there's an ex-Arsenal player in there, so they'll be motivated against us, and they'll want to prove themselves against us. And like I said, they need points if they want to progress. So I don't think it's going to be the typical Liverpool boarding game, I think, this week. I think we're going to get an exciting game.
Yeah. Well, next up, obviously, they have us, and then after that, it's Club Bruges. Yeah. So, look, Club Bruges is probably where they're expecting, well, we'll defo bag the 3 points there if we can. But, you know, you're at home against Liverpool, and Liverpool, once again, I'm going to bring it up, I'm not sure that they fear us right now. I reckon, you know...
I don't think anyone does.
No, exactly. Yeah. And that actually really will work in their favour. The atmosphere that they create is quite intimidating, to be fair. It's important for the first 20 minutes that Liverpool just try and get through it and keep it at 0-0 for me.
Yeah, definitely. Don't make silly mistakes. Don't give daft penalties away when the Champions League's like. You know, I see this as a similar kind of game to the Inter Milan game about us. I mean, you know, we're probably under... I suppose maybe the Alonso things changed that slightly in terms of the fans, but I think at the time of the Inter game, we're probably under a lot more pressure, given it was much closer to that 9 and 12 losses. I think the difference now is that I think we're probably expected to get a result a bit more at Marseille than we were at Inter. I think they had been beaten over 3 years now and thought we were going to rock up and win. And we were actually quite good that day in terms of controlled the game, scored a goal. Don't know why it was ruled out still to this day, really. Yeah. And obviously we got the penalty, which was soft. So we've just got to be careful there. I watched the end of their game against Real Madrid. You were just mentioning earlier, anyone can lose to Madrid. Then that was kind of the case of what happened, Chloe. Like, they lost 3-2, but the last 5 minutes was just Marseille peppering Madrid to get an equaliser.
I also feel like...
And they were winning that game.
Did Real Madrid get a penalty that just wasn't a penalty?
I think so. I think they were getting beat, and then the referee got them back in it.
Yeah.
And again, you know, like we talk about, obviously Alonso was they weren't very good that day. Madrid, they got outplayed by Marseille. I think the clutch players pulled out a few moments and got them ahead in the game. But it's going to the atmosphere is really important. I think we'll be all right. I think it's just mistakes. Yeah. You know, and I think they're going to be up the pitch. We're going to get chances in this game.
I hope so. I have put it off long enough, but sadly we do have to talk about some of their players. Yeah. Some of them I'm all right talking about. Some of them I'd prefer to never mention, but here we are. In the context, you sadly do have to mention them. They've obviously got the likes of Højbjerg, who's played in the Premier League. By the way, there was a centre-half who I forgot the name of, who played for Morocco. but he used to play for West Ham. Why can't his name come to my head? He will not have to feature because of the AFCON. So that's a little thing for us. Emerson, they've also got Aubameyang, who we all know from his time at Dortmund and then Arsenal. And, you know, sadly, I really don't want to have to mention his name.
You don't have to, Chloe. Okay,
thank you. They also have another player up top who, for some reason, is having to play football in the French league instead of in the likes of the Prem. And I never want to compliment him at all, but he is doing well and scoring and can be a danger in more than one way, but specifically attacking for them.
Yeah, you know, he was a threat when he played in the Premier League. He's going to be even more of a threat in Ligue 1. I'm not sure, you know, what that... I think maybe in a one-off game he can be effective, but I think when you've played in that league for a while and maybe in a bit in Spain in the lower teams, he didn't play for the top side. I'm not sure whether he can he can sort of replicate it at the top level again. Obviously, what's gone on in his life, etc., as well, will obviously affect that. Yeah. Just for the viewers, Chloe shouldn't have to say it's Mason Greenwood, but you know, being just you know, you shouldn't have to say it. But anyway, looking at their system, what Sky had them, I just looked at it. Is it Angers they played? I mean, I don't know where Angers would be in the Prem. They won 5-2 away, conceded 2 goals against a team I wouldn't even be able to say a player had ever played for them ever in their lives. So that's one thing for me when I'm looking at it. Conceded 2, scored 5 goals, which is great. 3-4-3 set up as.
Look, it's something, it's high risk, high reward.
3-4-3. So we've struggled against 3-4-3s at times with the you know, big switch to the attacking wing backs. Yeah. We've also opened up teams 3-4-3 at times where they just left loads of space. Unfortunately, we don't have them wide players anymore who can get in between them. But yeah, interesting in terms of, you know, it looks like it's going to be quite narrow. Yeah. And Aubameyang didn't play. He was on the bench and came on 61 minutes. Now that may have been because Liverpool are in town. Yeah. But it may have also been because he's been out of favour, I'm not sure. But interesting the way they set up, and it'd be interesting to see. Obviously, we'll have done our own work, but, you know, what they've kind of got.
Yeah, I'm looking at the French Cup, right, and let's take it with a pinch of salt, everybody, because I've not heard of either of these two teams, and I'm also not going to be able to, you know, pronounce them either. They've won the first round 6-0 and the second round 9-0. Yeah. So I'm going to say, like, the lovely how many goals they score, but also it's against teams I've absolutely never heard of. Yeah. But you can't underestimate. That would be Liverpool's worst thing to do in this game, is to go in there and underestimate A, the atmosphere, B, the way they set up, and C, just how good that they can be in an attacking sense. Liverpool have to stay concentrated for the entire game because, like you said, these can take the game away from you because they're just so free-flowing, they're so, you know, attacking. And yet they can, you know, Liverpool might have a lot of the ball, but when they do have the ball, it's what Marseille do with it.
You need to be really careful in the transitions because you've got 2 players there, you've got Blister and Pace. Yeah. They're the two recognised players I mentioned before. So you have to be really, really careful there, which is something we've struggled on this season. I think we're getting better at it. I think our midfielders are getting a little bit better at it. But yeah, you've just got to watch that pace. But to be fair, I can see us playing deeper. I can see us trying to play a bit on the pace and use Frimpong. I was wondering whether Frimpong would play, but I think for me, this is where you might get the best out of them. Especially when we need pace. If we play on the counter, get the best out of Frimpong. He'll get Vert on the ball a bit more as well.
Yeah.
Who's the other United player? I've got Green with Gomez. Where's Gomez? Does he play for these, does he?
Yeah, I think so.
He wasn't in the side the weekend. I know what you mean, the young lad. Angel Gomez is on the bench. Do you know what with him, though? He's a tiny player, which is why he won't get back in the Premier League. He's really small. It makes McAllister look stocky.
Quality, though. Yeah.
No, he's a good player. Yeah, do you know, because he was at Lille, is that right? And did he move to Marseille? Did he? Because they were talking about him going back to United at one point, weren't they? Angel Gomez, I remember him now. Yeah, do you know, I didn't recognise his name because obviously it's Aubameyang, but I didn't recognise the other United player. Interesting, that.
Yeah. Anyway, we will move on to the Liverpool perspective right after this little break.
Hello everyone, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'm here to tell you about this incredible giveaway that we are doing for our legend subscribers on Redmen Plus. This is the Craig Johnson signed crown paint shirt. It is absolutely glorious. Every single month we give away something to our legends on redmenplus.com. It's a great way of showing your support for the channel. It's a great way to get closer to us as well, because you'll be in the Discord group and there's loads of other benefits, merchandise, discounts, all that type of stuff. But the big one for me would be this. It would be the opportunity to get into the prize draw for these incredible signed items. Craig Johnson crown paint shirt signed by the Liverpool legend. Join up this January as a legend on redmenplus.com. Thank you.
Welcome back. Yeah, let's move on to the Liverpool perspective then. And this is the side that, you know, we can all delve into a little bit more, because this is the side we watch every single week. Before we do get into anything, Slot's presser, if you're care to listen to Slot, that's up to you, is tonight. So any team news or any further injury updates or anything like that will come out later on tonight. What I can tell you is that James Pearce has came out and said that Dom Szoboszlai has confirmed that he's in talks with LFC over a new contract. No decision yet over his future, but the Hungarian has also hit back at claims that he was disrespectful versus Barnsley and vows to keep taking responsibility after the penalty miss at the weekend. We'll start there before we get into the team. This is a massive boost for Liverpool, because there's some players in our squad who, for some reason, don't want to sign a new contract with us. Dom is a captain of Hungary, a leader. He's been our best player this season, even if he has had a rough week. And I think it's really important that you tie him down if he's going to continue playing like this.
No, absolutely. He's got something that you can't train or buy, which is the engine he has, and the experience that he's gained last season, the season before with Hungary, even this season with the ups and downs he's had, is you know, it's priceless really. I always think in things like sport, experience just makes everything, you know what I mean, what the things you go through, and I think he's probably had to go through a lot, obviously with him being big friends with Jota as well. That would be a big part of his learning in life. So I just think that it's a perfect time to get him tied down. And you know, we were just talking before we started the show about Szoboszlai potentially being the next captain of the club, and I think he wouldn't be too far amiss there from making that assumption. So really pleasing. He's got a big part to play. He could be the difference in this game.
Yeah, he can be. Maybe from the penalty spot, because he was on an incredible run up until obviously the weekend. I'm going to come to you, Ian, because there's another interesting factor in this, is the fact that AFCON was played, Salah was in the third playoff, which was about 4 days ago.
And he played the whole game.
Yeah, which, you know, wonderful for us. At the moment, there is absolutely no indication that he's back or he will be able to play any part of this game. But do you reckon that Liverpool could see Mo Salah maybe from the bench or just involved in some aspect?
I can't see. I think if we did, I think we'd have heard it by now. I think he's probably going to be more likely ready for the weekend. And you know what? As poor as he's been this season, I think the last month or so we could have done something just a little bit different. Even if it was just coming off the bench, maybe not necessarily starting. So it would have been nice to have him there, because we're looking thin. Especially in attacking areas. So to get him back would be a boost. I don't think we'll see him against Marseille. I think it's more likely to be at the weekend against, if it's a Bournemouth the weekend.
Don't you just think it's a shame though, because if he isn't, because every other player who's played for every other nation has come back and played for their club like a day or two later, or been on the bench. So if, once again, Liverpool are the outlier who say to Mo, "Oh, go on, Mo, go and have a week in wherever you want," or you know, go and see the kids. Fine, but like, you know, we're hardly pulling up trees up front, are we? So we could do with someone. But the other factor is that, let's be honest, you know, he made out like Anfield was his Brighton was his last game. He almost, you know, I thought he gave a bit of a wave. I know all his family and his agents and all that were there. This hasn't gone away. So actually, maybe him being in the squad on Wednesday might not be the best idea in terms of that part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Although, let's be honest, if there's one player who's going to come back and at least, you know, hold himself responsible and try and, you know, help Liverpool get back into things, it will be Mo Salah. And
he's a winner.
Exactly.
And he'll come back with something to prove, wouldn't he?
Hopefully.
We can all hope, but yeah, maybe tomorrow does come too early. I mean,
It was Saturday though, Chloe. We're talking Saturday to Wednesday.
I know.
Like
We do that week in, week out, but they've got travel in that.
Morocco's about 3 hours away though, isn't it? Do you know what though, Chloe? When McAllister's playing at the 1 a.m. on a Thursday morning in Argentina, if we've got a Sunday game, he's in the squad. Like for me, there's no excuse. He should be in the squad on Wednesday.
And to be fair, he's part of this leadership squad, and you think he'd want to get back. He should want to get back and be part of the squad.
I think everyone should be saying, we might need you even for 10 minutes.
Yeah. And look, he could make the difference. We can talk about him not being the same Mo Salah that he was last season. But, you know, Marseille, that this is a major game for them. And for whoever plays left back, maybe Emerson, to come up against Mo Salah, you still feel some kind of fear. There's a lot of pressure on you here, especially at home. So, look, I would love to see him have some influence on this game of football, and I'd love to see it. I'm not sure whether Liverpool do it. Liverpool tend to not throw their players back in, but we will see what happens. But yeah, let's hope that he comes back quicker and everything's resolved, because quite frankly, like, I just want Mo to be brilliant, and I want Liverpool to be brilliant, and those two go hand in hand. Really,
I'm done with the circus that's been Liverpool this season. I just get back to football and playing football.
It's up to Mo, really, isn't he? Because, you know, Mo was probably, well, I think he had a stay of execution before that, because he was Mo Salah. He could have went out the team a bit earlier. I think he was dropped because something needed to change, and you know, it worked. We won 2, 3, 4 out of 4 games without him, and obviously went off and stuff, and when we lost it, whatever. But you've got to be mature enough to go, we weren't performing. Lots of people have been dropped this season. It was my turn. I've got to battle my way back in the team, instead of saying I should just be in the team regardless. So I think a lot of this is up to Mo. But you know what? In the Champions League, should be his bread and butter. Like, if he went and played for Marseille, for instance, he'd do really well there, and he'd come up against players in Europe and in domestically that aren't as good as the Premier League, are not as athletic as Premier League, not as strong, not as intense. So the Premier League might be hard, but actually you're in Europe. This should be you. You're not playing against, you know, Barcelona. You're playing against Marseille. This should be where Mo Salah does his things. So we need him. He needs to be in that squad, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah,
and hopefully slot tonight will give us some indication on, you know, what will happen. He might just flat out say no, not available.
It depends whether he spoke to Mo.
That's also a thing, yeah. But you would hope that things have been squashed, or someone has sorted something out, because you can't leave it going on. That'd be absolutely ridiculous. Let's get into our predictions then for the starting lineup. Ali in goal as always. By the way, I want to talk to you about Ali. What's going on with his kicking, please?
It looks to me like he's playing injured.
Yeah, it's like he's too scared to like get a hamstring injury.
I think that's the case. I think he's. I think maybe we're starting to see the
decline.
Well, that's a harsh word, isn't it?
But it's what it is.
Yeah, when you talk about goalies now, they're all round, aren't they? The 360, they can ping the ball out and all that, and you know, he can still, his handling, for me, like, if his handling weren't as good as it is, you could almost make the case to say we might as well start Mamardashvili bringing him in, because there's nothing really Alisson's doing. Because he was good shot stopper, Mamardashvili, he can clearly kick a ball okay.
His one-on-ones for me is where Alisson
that's what I mean. Like, he's still got bits of his game, hasn't he, that are elite. One-on-one and his handling.
I think a lot of his game is elite.
It's positioning. I don't think anybody's as good as Alisson.
Apart from Saturday, where he should have saved that. I'm sorry, he should have saved that.
I said that at the time.
Instead of trying to dive him, we win that game. So, you know, no one really likes to say it, but you know, he should have saved that. But anyway, he's kicking. Every game he's done one.
Is what is being. It's happening at least once a game, and it's going right to their attacking midfielders, and it's like, because it's happening that frequently, you're thinking he must be petrified to put his foot through this ball, because that's all he has to do. But you know, I mean,
do you think he's a hamstring injury away again, another 3 months away from being done? Do you think if he does another hammy now, let's say he kicks the ball Wednesday, goes, I'm off, and Mamardashvili comes back in and plays for that length of time and gets himself into the side like properly, rather than like Kelleher used to do. And then at the end you'd be going, he's great Kelleher, and then Alistair come back.
And then you realise the difference.
Yeah. But do you think because of maybe he's a little bit older now, would a 1 more 3 month away from saying maybe we can't just keep propping goalies anymore?
Yeah.
I think it depends also where he's at. He might be thinking that this is his last year for Liverpool anyway. I've got no idea. But you know, I think he has alluded to the fact that, you know, he probably won't end his career at Liverpool.
He said a couple of times he wants to go back to Brazil.
Yeah, and I'm fair play.
You can't go back with no legs, can you?
No, yeah.
But to be fair, like I genuinely still think Alisson Becker's outrageous. But like I said, is the way. If a through ball comes in at any point, I know Alisson Becker's going to be on it like that. His decision making and his clarity of thought in those moments are what sets him apart from everybody else. It's just, if that is a hamstring injury, it can affect, you know, when you jump to try and save and everything
running
like that.
out.
So it's just something to look at, I thought, because it's just been something that's happened every game, and like I was so confused by it. And
we've nearly conceded a couple of times off as well.
Yeah, what was the one the other day where they he managed to recover, but they passed it back to him basically?
Was it Fulham? I feel like it might have been Fulham, because it wasn't Arsenal, because we'd have remembered that.
Yeah, might have been Fulham maybe. I thought it was at home for some reason, but yeah, maybe. It might have been Fulham. Anyway, let's get into it then. Right back, is everybody going with Frimpong?
No.
Right.
Do you think Gomez?
I think this, because listen, and this has to play into everything we talk about everything at the moment, because our squad is so limited. We are so limited. I think you mentioned it before about Frimpong on the counter-attack. When you're playing against the front three and wing-backs, you can't just have cavalier right-backs going from. They've got to do their job. So for me, this is a game where you almost play a similar team to Arsenal. We'll talk about the differences in a second, but I think this is a game where you say, right, we're going to play Frimpong right wing, we'll play Gomez right back, and then maybe later in the game you can do something different to put Frimpong back at right back. But I just think if you're going to use Joe in any of the games coming up, it's now.
Yeah.
And you give him Frimpong a little bit more license rather than chasing back with his wing back and his winger all the time. And he's probably not as strong as we saw at the weekend and stuff like that. He can lose a battle. You'd rather lose a battle up the field. You've got a bit more reliability with Joe physically and sort of, you know, he's got more experience. So for me, I'm not sure if he'll do this, but I would play Gomez right back and then the rest of the back four as we expect.
I think he's going to go with Dom right back and put Frimpong ahead of him.
Wow.
No, mate, no.
And I think he's going to bring...
Is that because he doesn't trust Joe's fitness?
Yeah.
But I don't hate it, by the way. Because
I'd hate not having him in the midfield.
I agree with that as well.
That's where my problem is he's the best player on the pitch and you're putting him at right back. Are you messing me right now?
I just think with the wingers they've got and the pace they've got, he's going to want a proper hard working right side.
Well, Frimpong is hard working. It's just he does like to attack. He's got the pace to get back. He's hard working. He will try.
What about Joe then?
I'm fine with Joe, I think.
I don't think he'll want Joe running that much. He's that.
This is what it's coming down to.
Oh my God.
We've got no players. It's so mad. Like we've got no. We're talking about whether to play Gomez or bloody Szoboszlai there because we haven't got a right winger either. It's mental.
When you said that you weren't playing Frimpong, I was thinking, well, Frimpong's going right wing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's right wing. Yeah.
But like, I'm trying to think. Like, if Mo is there, then I'm just getting Frimpong at right back. I think.
I don't think I'm having a right side of Mo and Frimpong. I think you're asking for trouble there.
Yeah.
Big time.
But at the same time, I don't know whether he's going to actually go with Joe Gomez because if Kanate gets injured, or apparently Kanate and Verge have been playing with injuries this entire season.
Yeah,
one of them gets injured. What are we doing? Like. We then have 0 centre-backs if Joe Gomez ever went off. Yeah. And Joe was doing quite well. What was the game where he came off and Mo came on? Was it like...
That was Brighton. He played like 3 games that week though. Yeah. And I think he played against Barnsley, came off. It'll have been 9 days, didn't feature at the weekend. I think, look... People are talking about whether Slot's going to stay or not, right? I think the squad's a mess, so sacking him would be stupid, right? Because I just think it's a mess, regardless of whether me or Ian are in charge, or bloody Pep Guardiola or Bill Shankly are in charge. That's my opinion. Everyone's got different ones. However, if you're in a position where you're Slot now thinking, actually, I don't care anymore about next week and the week after and the week after, I'm preserving the squad. I've got to get a result here for my job, for instance. Whereas it's like when he went to Salah, I'm going to drop Salah because I don't care anymore. I'm going to get sacked if I don't do something drastic, and it worked. I'm in that space now where if Joe Gomez can play, I don't care how injured you are. In fact, if you get injured, it proves my point even more that you give me a bad hand. You've got to play what you got available, the best team. And I think for me, not you guys, Gomez would be the best right back available for this game.
I think he would, but I just don't think he's going to do it. I think he's going to play with Szoboszlai there.
Can I ask another thing then? We've seen Dom Szoboszlai play on the right. Are you fine with Frimpong playing if Dom is the one on the right then?
You mean each way round, whichever way round you mean? So you mean Dom right back, Frimpong in front, or the way round?
No, I mean Frimpong right wing. No, sorry, Frimpong right back, Dom in front of him.
See,
because
you might
Dom
as well
will
do that,
Dom will do the tracking back.
I would agree with you there. That would be more sensible if you're not going to play Gomez, because Dom will cover him.
Yeah.
So it kind of makes sense then.
I mean, it does. Once
way,
again, the only
rotate the position.
The only thing I can say to the Sobber right back one is, when you are on the counter, you've got Frimpong with blister and pace. Yeah. Where if you do it the other way around, I mean, Dom is going to work his arse off, which means he might actually not be there for the counter attack because he's right on Frimpong's toes. But these are just the problems that Liverpool have right now. I'm fine with Joe Gomez playing, by the way. I think this game would suit him.
If he was fit, would you guys think that he would be the right choice? If he was like, not worried about him getting injured?
I guess, because I'd want either Mo or Frimpong at the right wing in front of him, then so then we can try and exploit the counter attack and the spaces that they might leave. Someone has said Frimpong right back to keep the back line same. Too much change.
That's a great point. Absolutely,
point.
yeah. No, I've got no problem with that myself.
Yeah, I think it's a good point as well. But so are we settling on Gomez or Frimpong here?
It's going to be one of them two. Frimpong's going to play the game, and he's somewhere.
Yeah.
If you're on the bench, then we go.
Yeah. Centre-backs then speak for themselves. Ibu and Verge.
Endo unlucky.
Left back then, are you going with Kerkez or Robbo? Because I think Kerkez was doing absolutely brilliantly the other day. And then for some reason we brought Rio on and I was like, oh yes, like get him feeding Kerkez on the overlap. Yeah. And for some reason we made a double substitution at the same time.
I think Kerkez looked absolutely knackered.
He was, but once again, I just think he was doing
I think he's coming
better.
On so much.
Yeah.
I think if there's positives to take from this season, it's that the 4 signings that are actually available to play are all kicking on well.
Getting better and better.
Yeah,
that's positives to take that. There's no going forward. So I think,
and Kerkez links up well with Vert as well.
Yeah, he does.
Which is coming for me for the next point I was going to make.
By the way, are you going Kerkez? Because there's another...
I don't think Robbo can run anymore.
No. That is a good point. However, you're going to have to experience going to Marseille away is vitally important. Yeah. Like we said, I think Kerkez has been maturing, he's been learning the role better, he's not diving in as much, all of these things. But when the atmosphere gets like that, when you can't hear your own players talking and giving you advice, you might need it. I mean, I'm not saying go Robbo. I've just literally said that Kerkez should have stayed on the pitch of the day. What I'm saying is some people might think an experienced head might be needed more in this game of football.
Me personally, I would go with Kerkez just because I'd keep that momentum going.
But he come off
when a young player is playing as well, don't break that momentum up. But I wouldn't be surprised if Slot played Robertson.
I would. Slot's played Robbo this year and we haven't played against right wingers. We played against guys like Madrid, someone was doing a job out there. Villa don't play right wingers. No. Leeds were Leeds. Like, I'm actually surprised he didn't get a game. I think maybe because he played against Barnsley, but I think Burnley would have been a decent game for Robbo because you're not going that way that much. Yeah. When you've got Greenwood playing who is, dynamic, and you've got Aubameyang who gets in behind you, I think Robbo's a really difficult choice to make. I love Robbo, he's been a hero, but I'm also like, I've kind of come to my conclusions after the Hendo Fabinho drop off. I'm like this with Salah and Robbo. I just accept that these players are at the end of their career now. I'm not trying to think about last year's players or the year before. And I just think I watch Robbo now, and I actually think he's sometimes scared to go overlapping because he can't get back. So after seeing Kerkez at Arsenal, I'd put him anywhere now.
Yep. Okay, Kerkez settled on it then. Let's move into the midfield. I'm going to need a lot of legs, and for that reason, Dom is in my midfield.
I agree with that.
But who knows? He could play one of like 5 positions at this point. Gravenberch.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then it's Curtis Jones or it's Maka. For my
Jones,
both.
Are you going both?
I'm going both. I'm going all 4 of them in midfield, Vert on the left and Ekatike up front. But
okay,
control the game.
Yeah.
Like we did at Arsenal, we'll put a bit more poke up front. Do you see what I'm... And then, because if you've got Frimpong on the right, you've got that pace. Now, we haven't got the biggest team, but Gakpo's hardly Tony Yeboah in the air, is he? Sorry,
So-
Corey, he's a 90s player, my bad.
Who did you say?
Tony Yeboah, he was a big lad who played
Striker?
for the Leeds, yeah.
Dean
I do
Scored
know
that
this
whopper,
person.
scored that took a couple of whoppers, yeah, but he was a big lad.
Okay, so tell me who's playing where then? You've got Gravenberch the deepest.
Yeah, him and Curtis kind of do that
Doing
thing,
that.
don't they, yeah.
Then you've got Sobo.
Kind of, sort of, well, so we've got,
Paint me the picture.
so hang on, no, I've gotten this wrong, and I can't have five, can
That's
I?
why I
Because I've
was-
got
that's
Frimpong.
why I
So
was
if
thinking.
If Frimpong plays right back, right,
Yeah.
I think he will play the
Dom.
5 I've mentioned, all of them.
Okay.
If Frimpong
Yeah.
plays right wing, I think he takes Curtis back out the side.
You think Curtis?
Only because he played the full game the other day and Maka didn't.
I get that, but like
I
it
think
looks
on
like
form,
Macca's running
Jones is
treacle
gonna be
all the
out
time.
On
at the
form,
moment.
me, I would play Curtis over Maka. I'm with you. Just, it's a bit like how he took Kirkers off the other day. It'd be mad to start Robbo now because he just took 20 minutes off him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. If it was me picking a team, I would go Verts left. I would go with Kirkers going past him for all the reasons you two just said. I would have Szoboszlai on the right. I would have, in the 10, Frimpong on the right, and the 2 lads, Curtis and Gravenberch kind of sitting with TK up front. That'll be my system. Whether he does that, it depends, because I don't know if the legs are feeling or who's going to play right back. We've literally got 2 choices in our squad, have we? Gomez or Maka, who were on the bench today. That's it.
What are you doing, Ian?
Doing exactly the same with him. It's Jones in for Maka.
You
I
playing
think I'm
Gakpo?
No.
No.
Do you think he'll play Gakpo?
I think
Yeah.
he'll play Gakpo.
Mad, isn't it?
I think he will. Me personally, I wouldn't. And can I just? I don't think Gakpo has been as bad as people are saying. Like, you look at, and I know he's like the most predictable player in the world, but there's a reason that he gets the numbers he's got. I mean, I know he's dropped off slightly, but he still gets them. He gets them shots away.
Well,
While he's getting
can
them
I-
shots, and the keeper can spill them, and then someone else
Yeah,
can put
no, I
them
hear
in.
that.
He was doing that though when he had Luis Diaz playing up top,
And he
or
had
Luis
Salah.
Diaz fighting for his place, and then he had Salah.
We're putting it on a play 4 and 5 yards out every time.
Like, yeah, but like now he's not got those same players around him. You need to, he's been here on long. You need in that front line to go, okay, this is on me now. And I just look, I adore Gakpo in the sense of when he first came in, I thought he was brilliant when he played the number 9 role. I thought we messed him about too much by playing in midfield, left wings.
Yeah, Klopp
I was like, what is
didn't he?
going on?
Well, he
Do you know
can
what I
maybe he can
mean?
play centre back if one of ours get into.
He's a big enough lad, isn't he?
But now it's getting to the point where, like, please just A, use Kirkers on the overlap.
Not going to happen.
But B, like, it's wonderful, this little cut inside and dink to the back post. But when you've got Frimpong or Salah at the back post, like, it's just not going to work.
No.
Like, you need someone with some presence then to be able to do that. It is getting boring seeing the same thing time and time again. Like, go on the outside every so often, do you know what I mean? And he can do it. He's shown he can do that. He can get to the byline.
I think when he's your 14th or 15th player, as in you've got an extra midfielder who's quality, an extra defender, and Gakpo's like your 4th or 5th best striker, I think that's perfectly fine. My worry is, I don't know how many teams in the top 10 Gakpo gets in the Prem as a starter on the left. So when I know we're kind of that was the word when you're moving away from the topic. For me, when we're criticising us and we're looking at what we're playing with here, I don't know if Gakpo gets in like Bournemouth's team. I don't know.
I mean,
if Gakpo,
I think he does.
Do you? Yeah.
But
It's an argument at least.
I get you. I get what you're trying to say.
He definitely doesn't get in Man U or City or Arsenal or Chelsea or, you know, in terms of what they've got. It worries me. So playing him, like, continually just putting him in is like...
Can I also offer another thing, is that Ekatike just can't do 90, 90, 90. Like, he just
another
can't do it.
Yeah.
So you need someone on the bench
That's a great shout.
to take his place.
Who isn't Chiesa?
Who isn't Chiesa at the moment. Chiesa might be needed for right wing. Who knows? Chiesa might be needed
It
anywhere
didn't take
else.
long for that Chiesa train to leave the station after everybody was out begging for
I
him
think
to play
we're all
with.
going, nah, we know why now. Sorry, mate.
I adore Chiesa, absolutely adore him, but he's not having the same impact that he was at the start of the season. But also, like, Liverpool just... Back then it was Hail Mary, where now it isn't quite Hail Mary. It's like, will we create
Lay
anything?
down, Mary, and chill. Let's stop. I don't want to say bleeding because that's going to cause all kinds of comments. But let's lay down, Mary, and relax.
Yeah, it's
Cover up the
not-
gaps, please.
Yeah,
Throw him on.
it's not really got the same, you know, kind of chaos that was happening around it when he first started having the impact. But yeah, I just look at Ekitike and thinking I'm going to need him for Bournemouth, and I need him for Bournemouth as well.
He's not got the most stamina either.
No.
From
so
17
you're going
years
to have to. You can't. How much did he play at the weekend? Did he play the full 90?
Yeah, he did,
played the full 90.
So he can't do 90 again in midweek and then 90.
He might go
weekend.
Gakpo top then.
No, but I'd prefer he started Ekitike and brought Gakpo on.
That's a good shout. That he did that against, was it Real Madrid, and it worked. Gakpo actually had a few chances, didn't he, later on as well? Just
don't forget Ekitike. He's just had. He only missed a couple of games, but he's just had an injury. Yeah. He might say Gakpo up top.
This is the thing, Ian. We've got about 5 games in 2 weeks.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm seeing Gakpo starting already, guys, because we've not put him in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think he might shock a few people and play Gakpo up top and leave Ekitike on the bench
and bring him on. That's not a bad shout as long as everyone does their job. Yeah.
But I mean, I just want to see more of Florian Wirtz.
Yeah.
That's my point. Maybe putting him as left winger.
Inverting, yeah.
Yeah. I'm just really enjoying what I'm seeing from Wirtz, and the only problem I have with him at left wing is I want everything to go through him. It's very hard. You become one-dimensional when he's solely on the left wing.
Or when he's coming in, and that left wing's just gone, there's no one there.
He does pass to Kerkez. So if we play Kerkez, then at least, we could get in behind.
Claude, that passage you played at the weekend, which I think it's a little bit contrary to what everyone thinks. I think when there's a fast player on, I think we do play the pass. Frimpong got in loads of times against Arsenal. I think we've played Ekitike in a number of times. And I think that passage of play where Kerkez gets in shows to me that when you've got players with pace who are on, our team won't stop and go, no, they will play it. Problem is there's not enough of those players. But Kirk, that passage of play where he probably did the right thing in the end, but we all thought in the ground, probably like you, Chloe, shoot! But that passage of play where he gives the ball, I can't remember who plays in, but he gets through, and it was just brilliant. And
I think it was Sobbo.
He beats the man, doesn't he? Yeah. Then he passes it and goes. That was brilliant. That was like, wow, like that's what Robbo used to do.
Also as well with Wirtz, I've been saying since the start of the season that once our players caught up to what Wirtz was doing and started thinking like it, thinking the way he thinks, we'd start looking a lot better, and that started to click. Now there's players that he's getting a partnership with Kerkez. Curtis Jones knows what Wirtz is going to do, and he knows where he's going to be. Ekitike knows where he is. More and more players are catching up to Wirtz and what he's going to do, and Wirtz is catching up. It's starting to figure out what our players are going to do. So we're improving as a team because we're starting to get the best out of Wirtz.
I think, and the more pace he gets around him, whether it's Frimpong, Kerkez, new players, whatever,
he'll find the pass.
Oh, he'll be brilliant. He's actually doing it the hard way, isn't he now?
Yeah, he is. But yeah, I mean, we'll go through the team once more. Before we do, get in the comment section your score predictions and who you think is going to score. I have a feeling some of you aren't going to give Liverpool a win here, but we will go to the team whilst you get in the comment section. So we've gone Alisson Becker, Joe Gomez at the moment.
Gomez,
it was,
Yeah,
we've gone, I mean, by week, I take no responsibility for any of it. We've gone Ibu, Verge, Kerkez to finish off the back line. In midfield, now here's where it gets difficult. If it is with Frimpong, he's on the right, followed with Grav and Curtis. And then we've got Wirtz and Ekitike with Sobbo in the 10.
Yeah. But then there's also the school of thought.
if Frimpong doesn't play, it's... Right, we'll go again. It's Gravenberch, Maka, or Gravenberch, Kate.
Yeah, because Maka plays in the 10, doesn't he?
So, Maka, Sobbo, Wirtz, Ekitike. Yeah, all very confusing. Let's hope it's the first option for my head to be able to deal with.
It's almost a good thing we haven't got any depth in it.
It's wild. It's good that we're playing these now and not in 2 weeks, I'll tell you that.
Honestly.
It's worrying, isn't it?
It is absolutely mad. Guys, I'm going to come to you for your score predictions and your goal scorers because, look, let's try and be positive here. Liverpool, we've got Karabag as the last game, but we need to come out of here with a really good result, and that would be a win. Slot needs it potentially more than anybody in this world. So what are you predicting then?
I think we'll win the game. I think it's set up for us to have a positive outcome. Like in terms of the way they play.
Yeah.
We've got more tools to play against a team like this than we have a team that just wants to put 11 men behind the ball. So I think we'll get a couple of goals. I think I'm going to be positive and say I think we win the game 2-1. I still think we'll have our wobbles in the game. Yeah. I still think we might be defending the last few minutes and Verge winning lots of headers. But I think we do come away with the results. A good battle. Goal scorers, I'll go Van Dijk off a corner and I'll go Flo.
Nice.
I'm going to say 2-1 as well. Okay. I'm going to say Ekatike and Gakpo late on.
I like that.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I'm going to go with a 3-2 win.
Oof. It's gone big.
Why not? I'm going to go with, I reckon it's going to be 2-2. And then we get one late on. Let's go with that. But I'm going 3-2. My goal scorers. I'm going to go Sobbo. I'm going to go Florian. And I'm going to go Hugo. Which means actually, Sobbo can stay on the pitch longer than 70. Okay, yeah. Sobbo's got me winner apparently.
Imagine Mo comes back and gets that winner.
Be great. No, I would love it. We need it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, let's hope that he does come back because, honestly, just more options would be quite nice.
I'm telling you, this is my thing. It's wild.
Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be live on the watch-along tomorrow. I'm going to say it's going to be 6, Aaron? 20-7.
Nearly there.
Who knows? I've got no idea.
Something.
I don't do watch-alongs very often, but I will be there because I'm not in Marseille, clearly. So thanks so much for joining us. Hope to see you then. Hopefully Liverpool will pick up 3 points and make, the week a little bit better. But until the next one, up the Reds.